Welcome back, everyone, to another lovely episode of Hotel Talk, where today I have with us a guest who is a marketeer turned sustainability philanthropist, entrepreneur. So Malvina Nicolaou is a lovely young lady, and it's the first time I'm actually meeting her in person, although I felt that I've known her for years, because during lockdown, our paths crossed. We did a couple of interviews, I think, together over Zoom at the time and Facebook with my group Cook Vegan. And since then, we've kept in touch. She's now a member of Farah's Club as well. And I'm just so excited to have her on Hotel Talk, telling you guys all about her life, but first and foremost about Rescued Box, which is an absolutely brilliant idea of packaging unwanted fruits and vegetables and giving them the life they deserved. So I'm going to let her a second chance.
Exactly.
Please, Malvina, welcome first of all, and do tell us all about what you do.
Thank you so much for inviting me first and foremost, and it's lovely to meet you in person finally. You've been one of the long-standing members of Rescued Box and subscribers, so thank you so much for your loyalty.
One. I've got everyone. My sister and all when she came to Cyprus has joined. Everyone I can, and I genuinely promote it, not because I have anything to gain, but because I really believe it's a wonderful idea. It's a great initiative, and it's a win-win for everyone.
Yeah, exactly.
It's affordable fruits and vegetables, minerals, vitamins, and fiber for everyone. And I just love it. So tell everybody about it.
With the zero waste movement. And so just to cover off what is Rescued Box is exactly what you said. It's the unwanted fruits and veggies.
Or the surplus.
The surplus or the ugly, or what they call them. The produce. And what we do is actually deliver it to your home, and they're fresh. Every week we get this from the producers, the farmers, straight from the fields. We package them up in a very sustainable way in our little carton box, and then we deliver it to your home. And we recently actually a few months ago we launched our marketplace as well, which we wanted to take a more holistic view on zero waste and how we can move past. Not only with the fruits and vegetables, but also look at different other products. And we have in our marketplace from cereals to laundry detergents to anything that you can think of in terms of like household products, which they might have like some kind of like damaged packaging, which is not suitable for shelf life. So those are getting wasted as well, which is unfortunate because again, like through Rescued Box, we're able to have them in a very heavily discounted price.
And there's nothing wrong with the product.
It's nothing wrong with the product.
You've reminded me, I haven't ordered from you for that for a while. But yeah, I remember like one had the label stuck the wrong way around. But the detergent is still the same detergent.
Exactly. So the content
the cereal is slightly dented, the cardboard box, but they're
which
fine.
We don't need the card box. We tend to recycle that anyway. So
yeah. I think it's great. And then also, of course, you do different subscription plans. So somebody could have not even weekly; they could have monthly, can't they?
It's every week or every 2 weeks.
Every 2 weeks, yeah. And then there's a small, medium, and large box.
Exactly. The idea behind that subscription frequency, if you will, is like you would consume within 2 weeks everything that you have, like in your fridge. So that's the idea behind like the weekly subscriptions and the bi-weekly ones.
Well, I mean, I get weekly and your biggest box, albeit we're a lot of people in our house. But yeah, definitely it doesn't last us a week. But that's why I'm tempted sometimes. Should I just get 2 of them?
I used to get 2 as well.
I did,
It does depend on your lifestyle. And we do say that depending on how much you cook, please do order the appropriate box for you, because we don't want to promote waste. This is exactly what we don't want to do. And just find the box that is suitable for your lifestyle and as much as you cook at home.
I love it. I align it to Ready, Steady, Cook. I think I told you this last time we spoke. So the English I don't know if they have it anymore, but when I was a student, they did the UK program, Ready, Steady, Cook, and they'd have a chef. It was two teams, so famous chef on either side, and then a member of the public would come in and bring 5 items and just tell a chef, all right, what are we going to make with that? And it was like, okay, we're going to do, and it was a 3-course meal. And then it was like time ticking.
Yeah.
And I love it. When I see rescued box, I'm like, okay, what are we going to make this week? I would never have bought that vegetable, but we're going to make this, you know?
I think a lot of a lot of our customers always said is like, it sparks creativity in the kitchen. And it also did for me. Like, I would never have thought that I would be one of those cooks at home where I would cook taro, for example, kologasi. It's something that my grandma used to make, and not something that I would ever imagine on actually trying different recipes with it as well.
Exactly.
Like, as we grow older,
the
traditional. As we grow older, we're exposed to a lot more recipes, so you get a lot more creative.
Yeah. Have you tried my kologasi steaks?
I haven't. No,
they're so good. They're on the
I love chips, taro chips.
The chips are good. And then you cut them like thin, and you put breadcrumbs, and then just in the oven.
Oh my God,
they're delicious. Yeah,
I love that.
I know,
and it's so. This is what I love about Rescued Box. We were able to create this community with like-minded people, and I get a lot of recipes from our customers as well. That say, I might post like a story, and someone definitely will reply with something that they've done at home as well, and it gives me ideas and to share with the rest of you. And yeah, I love the feeling of creating like a community, or what we call them as rescued warriors, because we are the warriors in trying to do every little bit that we can.
Exactly. Everybody's, even just a little bit, it goes a long way.
Exactly.
So where are most of your customers from? I mean, obviously we're in Cyprus, but are they Cypriot? Are they expat?
So it's a great mixture of both. Most of the customers that we have are located in Nicosia, but a lot in Limassol as well.
And trying to push it.
Yeah.
Limassolians, you can do it.
And a big expat community as well. Which is great to see that we're also exposed into different other communities in Cyprus.
I love that. And what's been like your learning curve within launching this? I mean, I think you told me before you got the idea from the UK.
Yes.
I know that there is something similar in the UK and in the USA. Mm-hmm. So, and tell us how you got the idea, how you launched in Cyprus, and then how you've grown and what you've seen, while having this business.
Yeah, so I was living in London. After I finished my studies, I worked in London, and I think COVID hit differently to a lot of people. Mm-hmm. For me, it was kind of the start of my sustainability journey. It was like pre-COVID as well. Like, I was always like a conscious person. I like to think, and like just doing every little bit that I can, like as my part of in this planet, I guess. And I think when COVID hit, it really, really hit me that, okay, this is a time to do something good for me, first of all, and then for the planet. And I sort of started looking into different ways I can introduce sustainability in my life, whether it was just literally from the simple things. I think people think about sustainability and zero waste from 0 to 1,000 like in one day, and it makes people anxious.
Yeah, so daunting.
Changing their lifestyle completely. But and I guess like this is one of the learning curves that I found, is like it's little steps. Mm-hmm. But continuously, like being patient with your little steps and seeing the change over time, not a change from like one day to the other, because it's not sustainable in that way as well. Yeah. I think when COVID hit, it was time for me to come back home, and that's when I thought, okay, by coming back home, I do have like my sort of more permanent job, but I also wanted to start this project. Ideas were flowing from different other companies out there, from the US, like you mentioned, France as well. Like there are all sorts of different ideas in the world, which it was a kind of combination of a couple of those. And we sort of, and I say we are in this business together with my dad. So it's sort of like a family project that we're doing together. And like with little humble steps, we slowly started in September 2020. So it is a COVID project, which is great to see that it's baby. Yeah, it is a COVID baby and it's still alive after
but it
COVID.
Just goes to show so many good things did come out of COVID, despite, I mean, the very dark days that they were. Yeah,
exactly. And I guess another kind of learning curve is every customer is different. I think their needs are different. It's just about understanding, and I want to continuously relay the message about sustainability. I don't want that to be lost in any kind of way, and the zero waste movement. I want to encourage others to keep trying, whether they are old customers, whether they're gone and they're coming back. I think that's been one of my most kind of like, in terms of like a learning curve, is how do I continuously educate people on this, not just like to come to Rescue Box. It is just about finding ways at home with simple things that you can do to be to lead a more sustainable life, and just be more conscious with the people around you and be more kind. And I think that's what it is about for me, and finding that about myself as well, just trying to do every bit that I can to be a better person, like every day. I know it sounds cheesy, but I think a lot of people can relate to this.
And it's so important. And I think we all need that. And we need to remain humble and just to remind ourselves that our best is good enough, and we have to keep on trying to be better.
We're not perfect, nobody is. And we do a lot, like we do mistakes as well. I think one of my main challenges about the product itself, but one of the biggest challenges we faced was around delivery, at home delivery, and the subscription model, which is not, I think it is becoming a more a kind of service that other companies are doing, so it's becoming more frequent. But at the time, it was very difficult for us.
To explain to people,
why is it delayed? Or, for example, like we had, like at the very beginning, I remember, and I want to say these things because we are transparent. We want to be transparent with everyone. And
do you deliver, or you have a company that does it?
We deliver. We have like at the beginning we had a company, which again, like it's difficult because when it's not operated by you can't control everything. And I think that's where like
and
now we have our own. But again, like it's sort of operated by
by a third party.
Yeah, exactly. But it's fun to watch it grow. It's challenging. It's sometimes, it's I'm sure as a business woman, it can be mentally exhausting. Like just thinking about, oh yes, I need to do my best. I need to always look at my very best. I need to say these things. I need to do that thing. I need to, even from like posting one day, like, oh, I need to do that. I need to do that. And just sometimes I think, okay, you need to take a step back,
Yeah, and I think sometimes we put too much pressure.
Exactly.
It's not the end of the world if you miss a day and you don't post. Or, so what's been your most surprising aspect of the journey? Like something that's, that surprised you or shocked you, or
I think how well it would have been received. I think that was my main concern, and especially
that it was well received, but you didn't expect it to be as well received.
Because at the very beginning, because the Cypriot market is very different to how we are, like how I was used to in London, for example, and shoppers as well, they're very different. Everyone was used to going to the supermarket, like selecting, like nitpicking what they wanted to put into their cart. So having someone else doing that for you,
and also not knowing,
because
it's not like you order 5 tomatoes, you just don't know. And you wait.
Exactly. I think that's how well it was received. Like I had like families telling me, and I think you did it as well. Like they were sort of playing different games with their fruits and vegetables with their children, like teaching them like colors and shapes and sizes by with this like rescued box, which was fantastic to see. And I think that was my main surprise, that like sometimes people might ask me, oh, what do you do for a living? I tell them, oh, I'm in marketing, but I also have this side project called Rescue. But oh, so yeah, I've seen it.
Yeah.
It's just I didn't expect it, which
I have
is great.
to say, I mean, I've been supporting you since the beginning, and I've never had, the only thing I had that was misshapen, and I loved it, and I think I used it on our post for Valentine's, was a potato that was like a heart. It was so sweet.
I think to us, like misshapen, it's different to how supermarkets might see a misshaped or like in different size. Like to us, you might see something and you might see it as perfectly normal, but supermarkets do have their sizes that they have to, like, you have a selection of like cucumbers, for example, they have to fit into that box onto the shelf, so they have to be at a specific size. So anything that is not other than not that size, it gets discarded.
Anyway, so what's your favorite thing to cook with your rescue box or without? What do you like cooking?
So I use up everything that I have in my house, like whatever it is. I don't tend to use a lot of onions, mainly because my husband doesn't like onions. Okay. So I love onions. Like I would put them everywhere.
Yeah, I think we use them in every single meal. Onion and garlic is in everything. I mean, and most things have ginger as well.
Exactly. So I love to top everything with spring onion whenever I can and whenever we have. But I think my favorite veggie would be zucchini. I love a zucchini and aubergines. I love aubergines. And I know some people don't like aubergines, which I find it a bit. And I just never realized that.
Some people don't like.
Yeah, because it has such a. I guess it has a unique taste, but at the same time, it just.
I think for a lot of people, they like it because it's quite fleshy as a vegetable. So, I don't have them in my order because I have an allergy, unfortunately. But so tell us a little bit about you, your background, how you came to where you grew up, how you came to care about sustainability. Let's hear a bit about Malvina behind the scenes.
So I grew up in Nicosia and I've always lived in Nicosia. And then I went to the UK to study. And
but you're from?
I am Cypriot.
Fully?
Yeah.
But remind me, where does your name?
Nicolaou or Malvina?
No, you're Malvina. Yeah. I think you told me before, and I'm like remembering something. Yeah.
So my mother, she always liked unique names. So it's 3 of us. So I've got 2 siblings, and they all both of them have we all have unique. At the time names. Now not so much. But she loved the author Malvina Nicolaou. She's Greek. Okay. So that's where she got an inspiration for my name. But I believe there's a lot of Malvinas in Poland, which I don't know if that makes it a Polish name. And I know they're the Las Malvinas Islands or the Falklands Islands in Argentina. Again, they're called Las Malvinas. I don't know if, again, that was an inspiration for Malvina Nicolaou. I don't know.
Interesting.
Yeah. And so I guess when I was in the UK, that's where I was kind of exposed, let's just say, to sustainability, to the more sustainable,
to greener lifestyle.
I think with what's been happening in the news, you hear a lot about it, how we're literally destroying this planet, and it really gets to me, and it really bothers me, and because I like to think that I'm a conscious individual, like doing my bit in this planet. Like I always wanted to find a way to implement that in my lifestyle. Not to say that I'm perfect. I'm far from it. I'm still learning, and there is a lot of things in Cyprus which I actually learned a lot from other people as well. In embarking on this journey. But like my mom always, like growing up, she will always like do her own bit by recycling. I know that's like a given now, but growing up, like when you're like 5-6 years old, like someone recycling at home in the 90s, like early 2000s, then again, like that's different. So I think I like to say that some things I got from her as well, and just being more like conscious about like your surroundings, and like about littering as well. I know these things are a given, like we shouldn't be littering, but still, like we live in Cyprus, like there's so many people, like you see so many things happening every day. You're like,
crazy. You see
how
like
is
whole
this still
houses
happening?
emptied out into fields. Like why?
Exactly. So I think it's like I've always had it like in my life, well, in my lifestyle growing up. I think from bits from my grandma, even like she would not throw anything away unless it was cooked and given to us, like to eat, like things that she would say, like at like when we were growing up, we didn't have always access to like, you know, fresh food and always that. So again, learning from the previous generations as well, like what they did back in the time, because I think over consumerism is a big thing. So staying true and humble to your origins and like what other people have done in your previous generations in your family, it's good.
So important, and it's lovely that you've always found solace in that and gone to that. So I think that's great. So tell us a favorite quote.
I've got two quotes actually. One that is related to sustainability, and I keep reminding myself that sustainability is no longer about doing less like evil or less good. It's more about doing more good. And then the kind of other quote that I live by is like, everything happens for a reason. I just like to think that there is like a meaning behind everything that happens to us. I don't know, it gives me a bit of
Comfort.
Yeah, comfort.
And I gave a talk recently about happiness, and I said, and I mentioned that in the talk, and I said, which I always tell people, we might never know what that reason is, and that's okay. But just knowing that there is a reason, that we're here for a reason, that we are important is enough. So.
Yeah, exactly. And it might not be my sustainable journey; it might be something else. It might be, you know, an action that I do today and not tomorrow. But again, like, yeah, we all have our purpose.
Absolutely. Right, my dear, you want to take a question from the crystal bowl?
I will take.
Let's see what you got. Thank you. So this looks like one from our team at San Rafael Resort and Marina. Dun, dun, dun. Would you ever consider going vegan?
Yes, absolutely. And actually,
I can't believe actually of all of the questions, first of all, this was the one question that I've put in ever, and that you got it out of everyone. So yeah.
I've actually gone vegan in the past. I've done it for 3 months. I was vegetarian for almost 3 years. Coming back to Cyprus was very difficult to maintain it, even though of Rescued Box and like how many different, you know, veggies I get every week. It's just the lifestyle around me and the people around me has been difficult in maintaining it. And actually this week is my first vegan week.
Oh, are you doing veganuary?
I'm trying to, as much as possible, yes.
Yeah, so you can use a lot of the recipes as well.
Exactly,
I send out Farah's Club and cook vegan.
I love the beetroot juice. I've tried it. I must admit I hate beetroot. But I forced myself to
it's very
try it.
earthy. But
It
if
is
it's
very
cooked
earthy,
or juiced with the right
and I'm
combo,
starting to like beetroot.
yeah.
I would never think that I would say this, but I'm actually starting to eat it as well.
Yeah.
Because it's a superfood. So
It is. It's really, yeah,
it's
don't
good.
worry. I remember the first time I made beetroot juice, I actually vomited.
Oh.
Like, actually, I was like, it's so earthy.
Yeah.
And I just felt like I was eating soil. And then it took me a while, but then I was like, okay, what else? And if you combine it with lemon and apple and even a bit of celery and, you know, even cucumbers, anything that will take that edge off, and then it can be delicious. Yeah. So, I'm so happy to hear that. Well, if you ever need any tips on veganism, you know where to come.
Of course.
Well, thank you so much, my dear, for your time. Once again, I wish you all the success with Rescued Box.
Thank you, much appreciated.
Everyone, if you're listening, and whichever country you're in, look up your closest equivalent. And if you are in Cyprus and our lovely island, you know where to find it. Malvina's Rescued Box is the only one of its kind until now. And it is really lovely and so affordable. I can't tell you guys, it's so affordable and easy, and it gets... it comes on, it's a Limassol on Thursdays. I wait for the delivery, and then I do our order afterwards. So I base, okay, this week I got this, and then I top up.
Exactly.
Exactly. So I love it.
It's all seasonal as well, which is why, like, you need to top up, obviously, with your preferred veggies from the local stores as well.
Yeah, wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
All the best.
Thank you.